When you think about a hospital, what comes to mind? The doctors, the advanced technology, that constant hum of activity. But what about the walls? We tend to think of them as, well, just walls, right? Passive structures. In this explainer, we're going to completely rethink that. We'll explore how hospital walls can be transformed into active, high-performance elements that are absolutely critical to patient care, safety, and the entire healthcare experience.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about what walls that work even means. Then we'll get into why the old ways of doing things are failing. After that, we'll introduce a totally new approach, the direct-to-wall solution. We'll see it in action, and finally, we'll talk about the smarter, long-term value.
All right, Section 1, Walls that Work. The big idea here is that in a hospital, a place that's running 24/7, wall graphics aren't just for decoration. They have a job to do. They actually have a clinical role to play.
And that really forces us to ask a tough question that every single facility manager should be thinking about. Are your walls just a passive background, or are they an active tool? Are they helping you deliver better care, or are they, maybe unintentionally, getting in the way?
Because, believe me, their impact is huge. The right wall finish can make a surface way easier for your environmental services team to clean, which is a big win for infection prevention. It can create a calming space that actually lowers a patient's anxiety, and it can even make the whole operation more efficient, with clearer wayfinding and way less maintenance. This isn't just about paint colors, it's a strategic decision for the entire facility.
This leads us right into the heart of the problem, the failure of old finishes. In this section, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden costs and the nonstop issues that come with traditional wall coverings you see in most hospitals today.
Now just take a look at this. This table lays out the problem so clearly. Vinyl and wallpaper, the Achilles heel is always the seams and the adhesives. They peel, they bubble, and they trap dirt right at the edges, exactly where you can't have it. Hand-painted murals, they look great at first, but they just aren't durable. You're constantly doing touch-ups. And rigid panels, those joins are dust magnets, and the hardware fails the second a gurney bumps into it. These are the real-world headaches that plague facility teams every single day.
And here's the kicker. These little failures create this vicious cycle. Those seams in the vinyl, that's an infection control risk. The peeling and chipping, that means more and more avoidable maintenance work orders. All of this leads to disruptive repairs, rooms being taken out of service, higher costs over the long run, and just a mountain of waste every time you need to update a space.
But what if you could just stop that cycle completely? Well, that brings us to Section 3, the direct-to-wall solution. And I want to be clear, this isn't just a small upgrade, it's a genuine paradigm shift in how we approach graphics in our buildings.
So what is it? Honestly, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a technology that uses a special printer to apply super durable, high-res ink directly onto the wall. Doesn't matter if it's drywall, concrete block, you name it. There's no vinyl, no wallpaper, no glue, nothing. Just a perfect, seamless graphic that literally becomes part of the wall.
And this right here is the brilliant part. The real innovation isn't about inventing a better kind of vinyl or a stronger adhesive. It's about getting rid of those extra layers completely. By eliminating the substrate and the glue, you eliminate the root cause of all those problems we just talked about. No seams, no edges, no peeling. Period.
And the process itself? It's remarkably simple and, most importantly, non-disruptive. You prep the wall, the printer does its thing right there on site, and the UV ink cures instantly. The minute it's done, you have a durable surface that's ready to go. There's minimal impact on your day-to-day operations.
Okay, so that's the what. Now let's get into the how. Section 4, Printing in Practice. Let's look at how this technology is actually being used to solve real, everyday problems in hospitals and clinics.
Let's start with this number because this is a true operational game changer. We are talking less than 5 hours to install a typical zone. Think about what that means. The work gets done overnight during off-peak hours with zero disruption to patient care. You don't have to shut down a wing for days anymore.
So picture those long, high-traffic corridors in a hospital. With direct-to-wall printing, you get one continuous, seamless surface. There are no edges, no cracks for dirt and germs to hide in. The graphic is basically baked into the architecture, so it fully supports your infection control efforts and can easily stand up to the tough daily cleaning that hospitals demand.
Or think about a pediatric unit. Instead of those sterile, kind of scary walls, you can create these beautiful, photorealistic murals that tell a story. They can genuinely calm a nervous child, and they can even serve a practical purpose. Imagine a color-coded undersea journey on the walls that guides a family from the waiting room all the way to the imaging department. It's not just beautiful, it's incredibly functional.
And that's a perfect lead-in to wayfinding.
Big hospitals can be so confusing, right? Especially when you're a patient or a visitor who's already stressed out. This tech lets you build the navigation right into the walls. Color-coded lines, huge floor numbers, simple icons. It cuts down on all that cluttered signage hanging from the ceiling and makes it intuitive for people to find where they need to go.
All right, let's tie this all together in our final section, smarter, long-term value. We're going to zoom out now and look at the big picture, the budget, the operations, and the sustainability benefits that really matter to facility leaders.
I mean, this comparison says it all. The old way to refresh a space, it's demolition, patching walls, creating a ton of landfill waste, and dealing with significant downtime. The new way? There's no demolition, there's no waste, and when it's time for an update, the wall is just ready to be painted over. The difference in efficiency is just staggering.
So for any facility manager out there who's looking into this, here's your checklist. These are the key criteria. You've got to verify its cleanability against your specific cleaning protocols. Make sure it meets health and safety codes like ASTM E84 for fire safety. Confirm that speed. Can they get it done in under 5 hours? And then you have the huge benefits of easy change management and sustainability, being paint-over ready, PVC-free, and adhesive-free. And you know, this quote from the source material just nails it. Direct-to-wall printing changes the life cycle calculus by eliminating seams, adhesives, and separate substrates. It's not just a different look, it's a fundamentally smarter, more efficient way to manage your building's interior over its entire life. Which leaves us with one last, big question to think about. In a world with new models of care, a laser focus on patient experience, and the constant pressure to be more efficient, are your facility's walls just standing there? Or are they actively working for you, truly built for the future of healthcare?